Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. SykoYoda back here with some more Minecraft featuring us. Me. I'm on here all alone at the moment. We've been spending a lot of time on here as of recent. As I said, it would end up happening because we're so gung-ho about this project. And I wanted to give you guys a little update and how-to on some of these things. Been in here working and just thought, you know what, we haven't really talked about how we're doing all this. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm just playing. We are going to give you a little heads up. So what's been going on? Well, we've been digging out this, but the easiest way to do it is by filling it. And this is something that pretty much everybody knows. If you're going to take out a whole bunch of ocean, the easiest way to accomplish said task is with sand. And that's exactly what we've been doing. We've also encased the center section in sand. The outer perimeter, I think, is about done. It might actually be done at this point. Let me look. I know that the wifey, Rain, has been working on it. Yep, it looks like it's pretty much done too. What is that? Oh, she used gravel. That's funny. The reason for encasing the inside is we are going to be taking the water out of there, but we kind of want to do it with sponges so that we can see the structure as it sits. And if we were to collapse this all in and put sand in it, digging it back out is not going to be as simple as it has been for the rest of this. And I'm going to give you an idea as to what I mean today by showing you kind of how we've been doing this. As you can see, there's a big, huge bulk section of sand here, and we've just been filling it in. My method of choice is this right here, going back and forth between two positions. It seems to work pretty quickly for me, and I don't have lag issues, so I don't have to worry about blocks popping on top of each other or anything weird like that. Once that's all filled in like so, just make sure it's lit up, and then you try to get some kind of a count on how far you can go in. As you can see, we've also been wrapping the outside with glass, so that means we can take out this extra layer here. And then should be okay to just go down here. As we've been digging stuff out, we come back in, pull torches out, and fill this stuff in with grass. Now, as you can see, there's some sand underneath my section here. That means that that's been filled in from us dropping in the stuff. But we're trying to make a gradual transition in all of this so that it's still walkable. There's been a couple locations where just the natural shape of things just hasn't worked. Had to kind of fill in a little bit over here to make sure you could walk up and down this section, and then also a little bit over in here. A couple of 2 and 3 high spots that we just kind of sloped in a little bit better. And so instead of pulling a whole bunch out, we're trying to just fill in where we can. We have a set limit, which is the bottom layer of the glass, how high we want to go. That corner right there, that is as low as any of this is going to be. Potentially a little bit lower in the center as we get going along on things, but we're going to see how that works. But yeah, just a lot of filling in like this. You know, once you get the stuff dug back out, and the simplest of tricks, as pretty much everybody knows, sand can automatically fall if you set it on top of a torch. Well, that's what we've been doing here. As you can see in this section right here, I am starting to shape. Come on. I am starting to shape it a little bit. That's why I'm pulling some of the gravel out. I do know that at the end of this run, there's a big, huge drop off, and I want to try to help that transition in progress a little bit ahead of time because I know it's coming. Not to mention, behind that wall is sectioned off because that's where the temple is, and the temple does drop down quite a bit too. So trying to keep some natural landscape feel into it, but at the same time make sure that it's actually usable and we can walk around it and all that stuff without having to jump, you know, too much. That means we'll probably end up putting in paths and stuff like that as we go, but that's stuff that we'll get to as we move along. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a idea as to how we're doing this and show you just how much time it is actually taking us to do all this stuff. Hopefully that give you a little bit more feel as to how much time we've been spending on here. I know that this week, particularly that I'm on right now, I've already spent 8, 10, 12, 13 hours on here doing stuff. Non-stop running back and forth, digging out sand, digging out dirt, coming over here, filling stuff in. We figured once we got a couple of double chests full of sand, we'd be done, but we're not realizing things like this where we got to keep stuff in place until it's all taken care of, and then even more so is all the glass. But if you take a look at that, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing looking, all the scenery around here. So once this all gets dug out, it's going to be pretty epic. The concept is to keep this open to the air right here. The center thing will be enclosed because that's where the guardians are going to be spawning, and the contraption I'm coming up with that'll be pretty interesting. I can't wait to get to that. But today I want to talk about the way to kind of encase or connect the bottom in. As you can see right here's a good example. See how the glass only goes down so far right there? That's basically the end of the glass layer. After that point, we want to tie it in with some other blocks, and I already have a concept of what I want to do with that. It is going to be a little expensive as far as block cost is concerned, but I think it will look good. So I'm going to go ahead and get together the resources to pull that off, and I'll be right back with you. Sounds like there might be a cave system over here. That's something else we'll end up having to do here too, is light up some caves around the area to help the efficiency of this thing once we get going on it. Anyway, that's for another day. So I'm going to start with this side, even though the glass isn't all the way across this side, and I apologize in advance. I don't have any depth strider enchants yet, so I'm pretty slow down here. But as you can see, I got a couple of pillars, and I know I want to bring those all the way to the surface on the edges. They are a 4x4, hiding a little bit of cobble there where I can just save on these blocks. And now you see kind of why I said this was going to be an expensive project, because we don't have the ability to make these yet. To spend what we have is it's kind of a odd thing to do, but 4x4 pillar brought all the way to the top, and it's a majority of the prismatic bricks versus just the prismarine. And the prismarine I'm randomly putting in to kind of give some texture to it, because they do, if you are not aware, change color. See, now it's kind of going green, and it will now turn yellow, purple to yellow, essentially, back and forth with, you know, that aqua teal feel in it. It will give a lot of character to this, kind of some breakdown of the blocks, if you will, or something like that, and make it feel a little bit more alive. And that's the concept of this, is give you the ocean feel. I think that's why they made it a variable block. I think that's why they gave it that back and forth on the color spectrum, is to kind of give the same impression you get when you are underwater in the ocean. You get natural light variations and texture detail because of waves and currents and sunshine. All these things filtering back and forth give you a really odd sensation when you are in fairly deep water. But what I want to tie in is this line here. So I know that I want to bring it out to this point at that point. So essentially I want to bring this in like so, and we will also incorporate some of these here and there. You will be able to see those through on the other side from the glass, so I'm going to go ahead and use them in various areas underneath there. Even though you won't get the full feel for the color change, it will still be a visible deal. But this is the part that I really want to work on getting something going here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make this double thick right off the get-go. And that means I can also hide some more cobblestone in this section so I don't have to use these guys here. But I want to incorporate some legs in here, so I need to count this out and make basically an inset. So I got the cap block in place, I guess you could call it. Got it all filled in, and then I got some counting done, and I liked the 5 wide the best, and then I'm going to put pillars in. So I have already the spacing in place for that. The only exception to that is the center one. I think it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's not. This one right here is 6 instead of 5. Right here. So this being the center of the thing anyway, it being one larger, you're not going to notice it per se, but I might do something with that space. I'll toy around with it here. But I want to give you a feel for what I'm looking at doing with this 5x5 space. This area here is basically the lowest I think that the ocean floor goes. I want to say that the algorithm is set up so that this is basically capped out. That's why it's so flat here and pretty expansive in that flat. No, there's one deeper right over there, just a tiny little section. But this gives me a perfect lip here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. And right in the center of it, I want to go ahead and put one of these light guys. And it's not going to add much as far as brightness goes, but it will add some interest, and it will give a nice accent touch to the situation. The interior of this, I want to do basically exactly like I was doing before, and kind of randomizing the placement of the standard here that changes color. I still want to have that incorporated in pretty much throughout the build, and I think it will add a lot to it if I continue to do so. So that is the plan with that. Now this concept I think will translate really well. The only issue with this color, and it's not the color that's the problem, it's the fact that it's just how much it's been overused for the application, is that it does remind me of kind of a public swimming pool concept. For some reason, a lot of the times when they make in-ground pools, whether it be indoor or outdoor, this color shows up. And I get it, it gels well with the water, but at the same time, because of it, I automatically think about public swimming pools or you know, large indoor athletic pools, and there's not much I can do to change that as far as my interpretation or perception of the color. It is still a very cool thing, and I kind of hope they add more of these into the mix as far as different color types that do an animation of sorts. I do like the concept of this block still. I like the fact that we have the other color in here, and I really hope, along with the new block types like the granite and whatnot, that we get the ability to take these and the granite and make stairs and half slabs out of it. I don't know why that wasn't incorporated from the get-go. It seems a little bit odd to me, but hopefully we see that coming in the fairly near future. That would be pretty epic to have all those different block types at our building fingertips, if you will. I'm going to continue on filling this in, and then I'm going to toy around with that 6 wide area and see if I can't come up with some kind of concept for that. Obviously I cannot do this in that section because it is centered with one of those light blocks right in the middle of the thing, so I can keep this line all the way through even if the ground moves up, this concept's still going to work. So I'm not too concerned about that. To the point that if there is a section that it goes one deeper, like over there, I could probably put another one of those in, just making sure I keep 2 blocks in between them, and it will still create the continuing pattern feel that they thought about how it was going to look as they built in this structure.
I know how to get leather.
So I don't know if we've ever talked about this donkey that was on camera here, but
Poor Sam.
after all the shenanigans that have been going on around here lately, the one that baffles me the most is Scree purposely killed Waterbear's cat, and then Waterbear just kept on logging out with Sam, because apparently if you're on a mount, be it a mule or a horse, when you log out, the mount also disappears. So if you guys are trying to keep extra inventory slots safe and secure, make yourself a mule with the chest and put your stuff in it, and then log out with your mule, and nobody can yank it while you're gone. That's a pro tip for multiplayer servers there. But the weird part was Waterbear was trolling Scree by logging out on her mule Sam, and when he logged back in, she freaked out and said, "Get off the mule," and he said, "Get off Sam," and he said, "No." "Yes, get off Sam." "No." And then I hear, "Smack." "What did you do?" says Waterbear. "Nothing," says Scree. "You killed Sam!" And sure enough, here's all Sam's remains. So apparently, Scree not only kills other people's animals, but she also kills her own animals. Don't kill all the bunnies.
I'm not. I'm just trying to get a piece of leather. Okay,
Go kill that horse over there.
I killed some bunnies.
It's much less human. Yeah, it's better to kill bunnies than a horse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Never kill horse, kids. Okay, so we are going to head over here and show you, as you saw, we have finally wrapped this up. I guess you'd call it the outer square perimeter is completed, and we have cleared it all out. It was probably a combined effort of each person averaging about, I would say, 10 hours worth of work per person. Would that be
Except me, I did a little less just because of school.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is some did more, some did less. So I'm thinking it averages out to about 10. Because I know personally I have about 12 hours into this. So
yeah. It was a lot.
I'm thinking 40 hours total. This is something we'll be getting to in a little bit here. But it is completed. We finally got it all the way done.
I think the grass is all.
The grass is all in.
Should be, yeah.
Underneath this dirt, the grass here is sand, so it filled in the layers to all get up to that level. And there probably is going to be some more terraforming being done in here to make it a little bit more natural looking. But
I'm in.
But yeah, that's it. The only hill section really that we have is over from the entrance over to this side, and then it does a drastic drop off over here. And the levels down there is 38. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the grass. So this is the last section right here that actually has a little hilly, but it is fairly high up on this side all the way over.
Okay, I think it's up at like 44 at the top.
And then we have
It's
this
higher than that.
one corner over here.
Yeah, because we're at 63.
That corner right there goes all the way down. So let's go ahead and head to the outside of this and take our
46.
potions. And we can see how the base structure turned out. As you can see, there is pillars on all four corners. Well, elaborate on that, I guess, in the next episode. I want to try to figure out some kind of a column structure or something. I have some ideas of what I want to do. But anywhere that is exposed below this level 38 has this in it. So it's kind of like the hill structures and the sand and the gravel. They've all been accumulated on top of it. The concept I was trying to hope that would give the impression of was that even the hills on the inside, the slopes and stuff, was from accumulation of stuff, and then somebody came in and kind of dug this back out to use it. I think I accomplished that fairly well.
Mm-hmm. You can really tell on the other side.
This one, you know, got the light in here. You can't see it with the night vision on very well, but there is quite a bit of glow that shows up during the night and if you're underwater. And then as you can see, the hills kind of match right into each other. There is a couple of spots that are going to have to be added in. There was a creeper explosion incident over here that needs to be taken care of.
No, that wasn't creeper. That was TNT.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that was you being stupid. I remember now.
Water Bear was trying to make an X-ray machine because we're trying to...
That's what happened up here. And then I replaced that because water was coming in. And
this was TNT.
We're trying to get all the cave stuff lit up underneath this to help with spawning rates. He just currently made one using a railroad cart.
Minecart and a leaf block right above it, and you sit in the minecart.
Okay, and it supposedly does this for you. The problem is it does it for him. He showed us on video it working. It does not work for Rain and I at all. Just does not work. This is the only full wall that is exposed, and I remember I talked about I want to do something for that center. I came up with this concept from Scree. She wanted to implement something that represented the creeper. Well, there you go. The center stone, essentially, on all of the sides would have had this on it.
But you can only see the center stone on the one side.
Well, you can see a bit of it on the far over there.
Oh, yeah.
But
hasn't finished yet, right?
As you can see, just like I said, if it went further down, you'd even have more of the light blocks as though the columns would have continued on. So you can imagine that if you did the spacing on this, there's 2 above the light block, 2 in between, there would have been another 2 below it. And that would have been the perfect amount of space to get the entire creeper face in. And that was the idea, making it like it was buried and all that. I tried to leave everything I could up against it, even so like there's a couple of gravel pieces here, everything set in place, make it look like it's been there a long time. Yes, exactly.
I like it.
But that's pretty much it for this one. In the next episode, as you saw up on the top there, we had that X going on inside of the inner ring. We're trying to figure out an easy way to drain out the water in that. And I have a concept that I want to try using those X's with sponges, kind of eliminating the ability to have the infinite water come back. So my concept is right there in that center X, or that center of the X, you put a sponge down, it's going to take away a whole bunch of sources. Those cannot return because of the pattern that it creates. You lose the infinite water source. It should be able to do that all the way along there. And as we eliminate layers, we just keep on heading further and further down. Now, by the time we get to the last part of that X, what's going to happen, Waterbear?
Huh?
What's going to happen when there's only one section of that X left?
We'll be at the bottom.
We'll be inundated
with all the bad
with
things.
all of the guardians in the world.
Oh, yeah.
In one little section. So we're going to probably record that for your benefit, not ours. And then we are going to delve into what's going on with some structures and the centerpiece. We're coming in on half of our scheduled thought process for 3 weeks to do this. I still think we can make that happen.
We can do it.
As usual, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. And I will see you next time.
Yes.